Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you are looking to bend your own brake lines, make a brake line repair, if you've never done it before, it can kind of be a little bit intimidating. And if you have done it before, there's a tool out there that you may or may not know about that's super simple, super easy. I'm gonna show you everything you need and some of the things you may not know on how to bend a brake line. First things first, this CJ5 build behind me here is completely custom. The body has been dovetailed, it's been stretched. I built the roll cage, I did all the body, I did the paint. I built some 1-ton axles for it. I have it on coilovers front and rear, and it's LS swapped. I even rebuilt the transmission. So this vehicle is pretty cool, and because it's so custom, I had to come over here and I had to basically make my own brake lines. So that's kind of a daunting task for a lot of people, and it's not uncommon, especially in the off-road world, to damage a brake line and have to do a splice and repair. The coolest thing about this tool that I'm going to show you is the fact that it's very small. There's other style tools out there that don't work all that well, or you got to spend a lot of money to get them to work, and then you really can't fix a line on a vehicle with one of those tools. Well, this tool solves that problem. It's super simple, and it makes amazing flares. But there's an asterisk, right? There always is. So without further ado, let's get down to it. I'm gonna show you the two most common brake tools and the one that you're gonna wanna use. Now this is one that's a little bit cheaper. You can find it on Amazon. It's actually got halfway decent reviews. It makes bubble flares as well as the double 45-degree flared edges. This breakdown is kind of nice, right? It shows you a bubble flare. These are most commonly found on European vehicles, or often even on United States, US vehicles, but the bubble flare would only be on the fitting for your master cylinder. Everything else gets a double flare, which looks like this. Single flares, I would just kind of ignore that and stay away from it. And the tool that I'm gonna show you actually does both of them, and it does it really well, but you have to use steel brake lines. If you use like the copper nickel brake lines, those are a lot easier to bend and move around and manipulate, but they're too soft, and this tool kind of bends the whole flare and messes it up. So this is everything that you need in order to do a bang up job on your brakes, right? I have a piece of brake line cut to the length that I happen to need it for. This is gonna go on the rear of my vehicle. You're gonna need your fittings. Your fittings are important because they do make two separate fittings. The double flare fitting is different than a bubble flare fitting. So you're gonna wanna make sure you have the right fittings for the right flare on your vehicle. This is just standard 3/16 brake line. This particular tool calls for a 10mm socket or wrench and an 11/16. So I just have those ready to go. But this is basically the kit along with this tool here. It's made by Titan. And it comes with this tool in this box, which is great at straightening your brake lines, really super simple. And this is it, this is the tool, okay? Now, there are a number of companies that make knockoffs of this tool here, but it works great. You got a couple of fittings that you need to put into it, but it will do a bubble or a double flare, which is awesome. Comes with some grease, we'll get to that in a second. You're gonna wanna have a tool like this to basically deburr the ends where you make your cuts on your tubing, as well as chamfer the edges. And this is kind of nice. This tool does both, just a cheapie on Amazon. It works really well. And then obviously from the hardware store, I just have a tubing cutter that'll cut 3/16 tube. Now this bender here, this is from Titan, and it actually works really well. You can bend these by hand being steel, but if you want to make sure that you don't kink it, you're going to want to come in here, you know, and get really nice bends for your brake lines. You're probably going to want to resort to using something like this. So Titan makes one, and it works really well. First thing you're going to want to do is basically cut your tubing to the length that you want it to be. Hopefully it's straight or relatively straight, right? This has a little bit of a curve in it. That's no big deal. And then you're gonna wanna take your piece of, or your deburring tool, and you're gonna wanna make sure that that's done. You just basically stick it in the end, twist it around a bunch of times, put a little pressure on it, blow the tube out, and you'll be left with a really nice hole in the end. If you don't do that, this hole will actually decrease in size from your cutting tool, and it won't flow adequate brake fluid. But getting that done, then flipping it over and putting it in this end kind of gives it a little bit of a beveled edge. Once again, push on it a little bit, keep it straight. You don't want to, you don't want to angle it. And then it's time to put our flares in there. Put your tubing in on this side, and all the fittings go in on this side. This is the first fitting you're going to use, and it's just a gauge with a nice flat stopping surface so that you can't put your tubing in too far. Don't have to make it tight, just, finger snug is fine. Then we're going to take our brake tubing, slide it in the other side, all the way up until it contacts that stop that we just put in there. Then I like to kind of pinch it down between my fingers so nothing moves, and just tighten these up. Once again, finger tight, and then we'll hit them with that 10mm. I mean, you want to tighten it down. You don't want anything to move, but it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I mean, you can see there, I'm not really wrenching on it at all. Once that's done, you're just gonna pull out your fitting on this side. Now, when you squeeze it down, sometimes this will get a little extra pressure on it, and now it's too tight. I can't really do it by hand, so I'll grab my 11/16 and we'll spin it out. So at this point, you're gonna need the grease. It came with the kit, and you're gonna need your flaring tool. Now, option 1, right? You can see how it's got an arrow facing to it. That's the first side you're gonna put in. Option 2 isn't labeled, but you can kind of figure it out, right? So we're gonna do option 1 first. Now, this is your bubble flare, okay? That's the first step in making a double flare with this tool. Only doing a bubble flare, you would just put this in and then take it out. Because we're doing the double flare, we're gonna then use the other side. Put some grease on there. We're gonna just thread it in, and it's gonna get to a point where you can't make it finger tight anymore, but you can see that there's a gap in there. Now, this is the nice part about this tool. With that 11/16 wrench, we're just gonna tighten it down till the gap disappears. You don't have to really crank on it and make it super tight. You just want it to stop, kind of like we did with that first piece that we had put in here. See, it kind of got a little tight. Now, I can make it tighter, but there's no reason to. It bottomed out, there's no gap anymore. We're gonna release it and spin it out. Now, you might be able to see in there, it might not look a whole lot different, but if we took it out, it would be that bubble flare I showed you in the beginning. Now we're gonna grease the other side. We're gonna slide the other side in. Now this side will go in a lot farther because you've obviously changed the distance that tube is sticking out by compressing it with the first side. So there won't be as big of a gap, and it's actually gonna collapse this time a lot easier as well. So we're gonna go back to that 11/16 wrench. Just spin it down. It'll have a stop in it, just like the other side did. Back to the 10mm. I actually, this time, wind up spinning out the 10mm all the way and then take the tool apart. Some people just loosen it up and then try to push it out, but I don't like doing that with the line and the flare in there. That grease can make it a little bit sticky. So I like to just take the entire tool apart, which, just 2 nuts or 2 bolts, not a big deal. But you see how this side, I mean, I'm not even holding it and it's just stuck on there, right? I mean, it's stuck pretty good. So I don't like kind of pushing it through, but we can take that out, wipe it down. And guys, that right there is a great double flare on that tubing, right? It's really, really nice. Hopefully the camera's focused enough for you guys to see it. Now's the time where I would put on my fittings. Don't forget about that. So guys, I have forgotten about that before in the past, and it sucks because then you flare the other side and then you got to cut your line apart and redo it anyway. But if you put your fitting on and slide it all the way down, it'll work, and because of that flare, you won't be able to get it off. And then I'm gonna take my fitting for the other side and I'm gonna put it on now. It'll just kind of live at the bottom of the tube, but that's fine, right? Because once this end is flared, then my fittings will both be on there. And that is all it takes. It is super simple. Now, a couple of the things that they don't tell you about, we already went over in this video as far as making sure that you have the right fittings on the end for the correct flare. And the biggest thing when you're making brake lines is to not over tighten it, okay? The brake line fittings do not have to be all that tight. I know you think in your head about the amount of pressure that you can put on your brakes and the amount of hydraulic pressure that's in these fittings, but because of that double flare and the way these fittings are designed, they actually hold a lot of pressure pretty simply, so you don't have to go crazy. If anything, over tightening these will cause leaks because they will wind up basically damaging the flare. Typically you want to make it finger tight to where it doesn't move anymore, then maybe give it like a half turn or so, and that's about it. That's all you need to do, nothing too crazy. But anyway, guys, if you're interested in this project that I'm finishing up right here, I am gonna have a YouTube walk around video pretty soon. It's got a pretty rowdy cam in it. It's gonna sound really good. It's mounted on 43-inch tires. There's a lot of really cool stuff in this. And when I said it was custom before, I mean custom. That's why my garage is a complete disaster behind me here. All these Instagram and YouTube people saying they do actual builds. If their garage does not look like this, they're not building anything. But yeah, guys, I mean, this rig here has a completely custom frame. I mean, everything is customized. The only panel on the vehicle that I did not touch is the windshield surround. I've modified the firewall. I've modified everything. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot to talk about. I'll have that in a future video. But for right now, guys, I hope this helps you make brake lines super simply, super easily, and at a good high quality line that's not going to leak. Anyway, make sure you subscribe, get out there, make sure you build something.